computer. All right, let's get some people in here. Beautiful. So, guys, as always, we always start off the first 5 minutes with some wins, and I want to hear some wins for you guys. I'll tell you my win first because I think I should start off going first, and I think I'm still on this really high strength win that I've had. Um, I do feel it has to do with my last month and a half. It's a month and a half, 2 months of supplementation with creatine, and the fact that I've been putting a lot of attention into timing my rests. And I've been able to smash again today. I got 5 reps with 2 plates. Not that 2 plates bench pressing is the ultimate goal for every man, but growing up as a kid, looking at a 45-pound plate, thinking, wow, I wish I can push one of those guys one day. Then I pushed 1.5, and then I was pushing 2 plates, which is 225. It's super not heavy compared to what other guys push, but I kept getting stuck. And I tried looking at, okay, it's been 30 years I'm in this game. What can I do differently? And I really paid attention to my rest time. So if you train with me, if you watch me training, I will do my set, boom, 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 and then bang, I hit the stopwatch. And then I gauge that time to make sure that I get enough. And if I'm ready to go for a set, I stop and I say to myself, am I ready to go max out right now? No, wait a little bit. Because that's the goal for the ectomorphic body type. For someone who's mesomorphic or endomorphic trying to burn body fat, or if you're just starting off and you're like, you know what, I really want to crush it, your time in between sets is super crucial because you can do 2 things. You can keep it consistent for the whole hour and then see how you do. The app says 90 seconds. You can go 30 seconds. You can go 45 seconds. Or as you get more advanced, you can say, I'm going to give you active rest. I have to put a time period at the end of each rest, which can be good for the beginner to intermediate. But if you start saying, you know what, I'm getting better at this program, instead of me cutting down my rest for 60 seconds and going 30 and then kind of feeling drained, I'm going to go 60 seconds, but I'm going to do active rest in between. Jumping jacks. If you're doing upper body bench press, chest press, upper body movement, then you'll do running on the spot. You'll do a lower body active rest. If you're doing legs, squatting, lunging, dumbbell split squats, whatever it is, then you can do an upper body core movement. You can do push-ups if you need to, if it's a lower body day. So that's my win. Scott, give me your win, brother. And then everyone else who's watching this in the replay, because a lot of the guys are working right now, putting the kids to bed somewhere in different time zones. They're like sleeping right now. When they watch it, they're like, thanks, because I learned a lot. What's your win, brother?
What, for the week or the day?
For you, it's got to be for like the last, I would say the last 3 weeks, because you're like a 3 time a week kind of training guy, 3 times a day or 2 times a day. But what's been the biggest win for you in the last, let's say, 2 weeks?
Probably just getting on that the in-body scale and being down that 13 pounds of fat and since September. So that was a even though the weight is still pretty close, like the total weight, like we were talking about today. Uh,
Nice.
just seeing those numbers, like, and my pants fit, well. So I need a belt now for my pants, which is nice again.
How
Oh,
much
and then,
percentage are you down again total?
13 pounds of fat and up 4 pounds of lean mass.
Nice.
And when I look down, I can look down and I don't have to lean forward to see my junk.
Yeah, I love how you tell me that. It says whenever you meet new guys, tell them, can you bend down? Can you see your junk? If not, that's why you got to start the program. Chris, what up, bro? What's up with Chris? I'm just making notes as we speak. What is your win, brother? Because everyone's win is different.
Wasn't up. How we doing?
Amazing.
Good, good. Win this week. I think finally starting to get balance of nutrition. I know that's been kind of my struggle for a while now, but I finally have found that balance between getting the proper meals in, and getting the snacks in when needed, but making sure it's the proper stuff instead of reaching for whatever's closest available to me. So that's been my biggest one.
That's something that people overlook and they think that a win has to be percentage, body fat, fucking biceps growing. But if you're actually learning how to manipulate your time and your day with your food, that's massive. Because when you travel, and this is where when I meet guys, they're like, oh, I got to travel, whatever. Mark at the bottom of the group here, first time I met the guy over the phone, he's like, listen, I travel a lot. And when I travel, I need something to follow with me. I'm like, thank God we have one of these guys. Because if not, whenever guys travel, they just think, oh, I can't eat the same and my life's going to go to shit. So good for you, man. Um, Justin, what up, brother? Are you still on your 10,000 streak or what?
You got it, bro. That's 36 today.
Wow, 36 days. Love
Yeah,
it. Big
36
up
days.
in the house.
Muscle mass is up. I'm not too sure the percentage you said last time, but it was up
10,000 K.
from
That's
from the
beautiful.
last time. So,
So let me ask you a question, bro.
yeah.
How are you keeping it a streak and not like, because you can lie whenever you want. I still go into the audit sheet and I look at your numbers and you're good. You're not lying. But
Yep.
how are you doing it? For someone like Derek who just joined, how are you doing it so he can hop on and learn?
Uh, to be honest with you, I just hear your voice in the back of my head. So if I'm sitting down, no, I can't sit down. I gotta get up.
Nice.
Get up and move. That's it. If you're scrolling on your phone, get up and move. Scroll while you're standing up.
You see that, buddy? You see how he said he hears my voice? Same thing with you, but you don't pay attention. My son hates hearing my voice. That's all good.
Yeah.
Ronquillo, where are you at, bro? Tell me your goal, your win. That's amazing,
Hey
Justin.
Dimitri, everyone.
Yes,
I just say my goal is like the past 2 weeks, I've been consistently going to the gym. Like you see me most days now going to the PMF gym. So
and you're
that's some
coming from far. Where are you driving from, bro?
North Etobicoke.
North Etobicoke. So it's not like a
Yeah.
quick ride over. Okay.
But I love the gym, so I'm always glad to go. And I've been pretty consistent with tracking my meals. That's something I've been struggling with. It gets a bit like repetitive sometimes, but
Yep.
I found help me is like before I even do my workout, I go on the treadmill, I just walk and I start logging my meals. And I found that has helped me a lot. And yeah, even like by being consistent, I found that like I'm able to study better with school. I feel more productive. So that's my win. Just staying consistent and yeah, logging my meals.
Nice. Julian, give me a quick win, brother. Give me the Coles version of it. Is Julian still there? All right, we're gonna come back to Julian. Derek, give me a win, brother.
I got my 10,000 6 days in a row. I started 6 days ago.
Nice. I
Went out
like
one
that.
night in the rain to make sure I finished it off. Um, just getting everything figured out. It's a little bit overwhelming at first. Tonight was the first night I was able to sit down and actually like start watching the hockey game and not have anything to do.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it just takes some time to get it all organized and figured
Nice.
out.
Nice. Well, that's good. I know that Mark just started. Mark, give me one win. I know you just started and you're very, very new to the group, but tell me what is working for you, what you like, or what you feel has made you feel to win.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, nice to meet everyone. Thanks for including me here,
Yes,
Dimitri.
sir.
I think for me, for as trivial as it sounds, time management for me is something that about a year ago, prior to a year ago, I was very heavily involved in Muay Thai and with work and travel. I stopped everything, and a back injury about 3 weeks ago put me on my back for about 4 days, debilitated, and that's when I realized it doesn't matter how successful you are if you can't be healthy, you might as well just burn everything you have. So
Mm,
did a lot of googling, found pure motivation fitness, and met Dimitri, and I think that's exactly what I needed. So for me, my win is time management, and I think, yes, 2 days ago was the first day in the gym with Dimitri. Tomorrow is my second one, but for me, it's time management, and it's a priority now where I kind of see my schedule where I can visualize hitting the gym 2 or 3 days a week, and the 2 or 3 days a week I'm traveling.
yeah.
There's a high degree of confidence now. I can hit the local gym wherever I am and not sit there and stare at the wall saying, "What am I doing? Push-ups today, squats?" And for me, I just want to get into a gym and make it the kind of brainless, just do what I'm told to do. So that's my win for the first 2 days. It's just
Nice.
is time management and prioritizing health and wellness because it's a critical part of personal success. So
Well, I meet so many guys in the world and even with with women. And the one thing that you guys obviously know about me is it really bugs me when I meet guys, doesn't matter your age, when you make up excuses for yourself and you're just making them up because you really don't want to face the reality, versus taking the reality. So just as a recap, before I go through our 10 minute lesson here. One, this is a replay. You guys will all get, I'm going to drop the link right here. So at the end, you guys can copy this link. For anyone who's missed the previous ones, I'm dumping it in the chat. You can just copy this link. And the way it goes is you can view this document anytime you like. And then at each date, if you go to the first one, boom, you click here. There's the first video for the first week. Here's the session, 5 minutes of wins, 10 minutes of introduction to topics, open floor discussion and Q&A. As always, Zoom rules. This is a private group. No one needs to feel judged or mocked. If you're not on the call, don't feel like an ass because you're putting your little child to bed today or you're in a different time zone. It's okay. We just want to make sure that you watch the replay. Then we give you all the stuff mentioned in the call. And then after that, these are the wins from everybody. And then I give you my small lesson. We go over challenges, any resources provided, and then the red line just puts you in zero for the next one. Okay. So today I want to go through some quick things right here, and we want to talk about balancing work, family, and fitness. Okay. Scott really said something that hit home today. And he said, you got to ask yourself a question. Are you on the court or off the court in life? I'm like, what do you mean by that? He says, well, I went to a presentation before and they were mentioning, what your life is like and where you are. And it was really nice because are you on the court or off the court? Meaning, are you a player in your life or are you a spectator? Are you the guys that are here because you're training, you want to get better, you want to improve? Are you watching the replay saying, you know what, this is my group of guys that I'm going to get better with, get stronger with? Or are you making up bullshit excuses? Are you in the group and are you quiet? If you are, no problem. Everyone can have their own pace, especially some of the guys that are training right now or they can't make it. But you want to make sure you're getting involved. And that's going to be in every aspect of your life. You have to make sure that you're making the effort to get help. When my business isn't working well, I ask my coach. If my coach doesn't give me the answer I need, I call clients of mine that are entrepreneurs. And I'm like, hey, man, I know you're a client and I know I'm helping you with weight loss advice, but can you tell me what you would do in a situation if you had this, this, this? You got to be the person that's going out there to get the help. Next, I want to talk about time management strategies for busy men. So one thing, this may be a recap for some of you guys, who are new, and for some of you on the replay, understanding your life in a snapshot is super important. So for some of you guys who have gotten really good, it's either because I've broken balls so many times, I don't give up. And unless you tell me, hey, man, you know what? Finances, whatever, the family, the kids, I can't continue. I'm still here, no problem. But until you're with me, I'm going to keep getting on you and telling you that you can do this. You got to do a time audit. And this document right here, if you click on it, this has been, I'm going to make it to 75%. Let's go 65%. This document's been really good. For those of you who are running businesses, teams, or whatever, it's good to be able to drop and look in a far week and be like, what's important to me? Where's my workout non-negotiable time? Where's my cardio? Where's my food prep? Where's my walking with the wife or kids? Where's my work or my school? Where's my family time? Where's my kids' sports time? Where's my Netflix and chill time? So I put these at the bottom here where you can be like a badass and go boom. So if Mark says, okay, I'm going to go bang, non-negotiable. I'm going to go bang, non-negotiable. I'm going to do, let's just say, an evening workout here. I know that I can do a walk with my wife. Boom, boom. I can do a 9 o'clock walk here for half an hour, here for half an hour. Here I can go at lunchtime. When you start plotting in what your day's like and stuff is like, it's so much easier. And then if you can stop and tell yourself, okay, I want to have some goals for the month, right? And best view at 75. So you can put down what your goal is and why it's important to you. Reason why I asked this is because Julian, who's on the call right now, putting his daughter to bed, he tried this on the last call. We said, get a jar and write down 10 reasons why you should not screw up your diet when you want to. Well, instead you're going to eat something shitty, write down why. He did it. And he's messaged me like 3 or 4 times, jar open, and he's got the piece of paper reading it. So if you're struggling with a goal and you don't bloody see it on paper, you're not going to get better at it, right? If it's 10,000 steps for Justin, he's got to now like celebrate that shit because he's past 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. He's on a big streak. So he's going to celebrate that. And then what's going to happen is at the end of the next body comp we do, we're going to look at, okay, you got 10,000 steps over a certain period of time. Your weight is here, your food is here. Okay, we never got any massive changes. We got some changes. So why don't we try doing this? You've got 2 options. We either pump the steps to 11,500 every day, non-negotiable, or you keep the 10-day streak rule, but when you train, you add a skipping rope or a rower or 15 minutes of a very intense cardio at the end. And now bang, that plus that equals a different change. Or we look at nutrition and we tweak the calories. But it's got to be here. It's got to be written. It's got to be big, fat in front of you. Okay. Next. So that resource is here. You got to set non-negotiable fitness habits. So my son's next to me right now. And he'll know if I don't train, what do I ask you to do every night? What do I ask you to do every night? Tell these guys right now. What I ask?
You have to read
But after the reading, what do I ask you to do? 50 what?
50 push-ups.
Done. So it's a non-negotiable. If he's got no basketball, where's your push-ups? And we fight every night. And I love this guy. But I told him, I show him a picture of Leonidas, and I said to him, I want you to be a strong man. Not for your push-ups, but if for your sister and for your wife, if I'm not around, for your family, for your future kids. So if you can work out, give yourself a non-negotiable. So if Derek can't train for 2 days because his back hurts, okay, fine. I'm going to do 15 elevated push-ups. I'm going to hold a plank. I'm going to go and ride my bike. I'm going to do something different to challenge yourself. Communicate your goals to your family. Some of you have been good for support, and some of you watching, especially the gentleman that I spoke to this morning, early morning, he was telling me, how do I get my wife on board? Because it's a challenge, right? Thank you, sir. It's a challenge for him because his wife is totally negative and he's trying to make this change. So you got to sit down with your family and say, listen, I'm doing this, or your spouse or whomever it is. I need your support. When you see me eating like shit, stop me and be Dimitri number 2 and be like, why are you eating that for? I'm going to text message your coach. When you give your wife, your spouse, your friend, your kids empowerment and say, listen, Demetrius, I don't smoke, but if you ever see me with a cigarette, I want you to take a picture of it, okay?
Mhm.
Boom. So now you have help because we need help to get better. And I'm not saying this because I want you to lose a few pounds. I want you to keep crushing. I want to give you such challenging problems where you're like, okay, like Julian now, I'm down 15, 16% body fat. What's the next level? Those are the problems I want to give you. I want to give Mark problems where when he's traveling, okay, D, I'm in the gym right now. The heaviest dumbbell is 25 pounds. I'm in a hotel in Arizona. I got the program on the app. What do I do? Then I can give you how to go through that process. Okay. Nutrition hacks really quickly. So, and David, I know you're not 40, bro, but these are for men, and you're a man, so you're part of the group, baby. Fueling for performance and balance. So many people don't know the bloody macronutrients. And when they're trying to diet, you guys will notice from me, I input meal plans into the app. I've spent, over $6,000 meeting with a naturopathic doctor, a holistic nutritionist. We made all these meal plans based on percentages of daily whatever. And all the people who've gotten the best results have gotten it because they learned to balance the macros. So this resource here, print that shit out. Print it out, save it on your phone, have it ready to go. So if you have to tell your kid, hey man, quiz me on what are good carbs and bad carbs. You should be able to know, eat less, eat more, eat some of these. Okay. You should know the difference between the 3 different types of carbs, right? You can be like, yo, what is a starchy? Well, bang, 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 bang. What is a refined sugar? Bang, bang, bang. Because when you're looking at balancing food, I don't look at food as if, okay, what are we having for dinner? I'm like, babe, what's the protein we're having tonight? We're having steak. Okay, awesome. I'll have apples for my carb because I'm lazy and I don't want to make no rice. Perfect. Kids are having apples and we're good to go. Apples and fruit. So you got to understand the macros. If you don't understand the macros, we're stuck because we're always trying to understand what the three are, and they're right over here, especially when it comes to fats as well. Okay, and condiments. So that resource is there for you. If you had to ask me for muscle and testosterone strength, my three biggest like wins or my three biggest like secrets: protein first, protein before anything. So prioritize that in every meal. 1 gram per pound of body weight. Forget this 0.8, 0.7 pounds shit times the kilograms. I'm not the European. I'm going to use pounds. It's 1 gram per pound of body weight of ideal weight. So if you're 240 and you want to weigh 200, get 200 grams per day. Give me my calculator from the desk there. If you're 205 and you want to get down to this one, and you want to get down to 185, then you should just be going, okay, 185, my calculator. How many times do I eat? Well, my life is crazy. My schedule's crazy. No, take control of your life. You have 24 hours. If we're stuck, we go back here. And I did this with Justin. And I said, okay, perfect. Watch this. We're going to go, if you're trying to lose weight and you're cutting food off at a certain time of the day, right? You say, okay, my first meal is after my workout. So 1, 2, look how easy it is. I can see my life. 3 and 4. Like, how hard is life? I can see it. It's there. If you wake up at 6 and you go into the gym right away, then move this bloody number right over here. Change it. But you got to be the one in control. And if you're traveling because you're busy with work, when I go to my kids' practices, people see me carrying Tupperwares of food. And they're always saying, what do you got today? What do you got today? And I'm the only one at this guy's practice. And I'm smashing food. And people can see me, with food. And they're like, one guy asked me yesterday, he's like, do you not eat like at work? And I'm like, bro, I eat 6 times a day. I eat when it's time to eat. So if Chris is busy, he's like, okay, shit, I'm going to go from a lunch meeting to another Zoom call. I'm going to have lunch at a restaurant. Fine. Tell the restaurant guy, hey, do me a favor. Give me an extra sauteed vegetables. Give me a chicken breast on the side. Give me a salad, but don't put dressing on it. And put the rice on the side. Don't throw it away, put it on the side. I'll eat it for tomorrow's lunch or whatever. And then keep something with you so you're good. Or go to a gas station, buy a protein shake, get a plastic bag full of dried nuts or unsalted nuts, keep it in the car. But we cannot be missing meals because it's not part of our lifestyle and identity. So that's going to be first. Include healthy fats at every meal. Now, especially your carb goal, especially for those who are trying to lose 30 plus pounds of weight. If you're in the 10 to 15 pounds, 20, we're okay. But if you're looking at 30, 40 plus pounds, fat is a macronutrient that you need to understand. If you wake up for breakfast and you get an omelet, when I go to Sunset Grill, I'll get a steak and egg omelet and I'll get half potato fries well done and I'll get toast brown with no butter. I ask them for olive oil on the side. Now, that's a massive carb breakfast because I'm trying to gain weight. I'm trying to hold my weight because I'll shrink like this if I don't eat the same way. But if it's someone else, they can say, yo, give me an omelet. Instead of steak for breakfast, give me a chicken breast with my omelet. And then for my carb, because it's Sunday morning and I didn't fucking work out, just give me tomato slices, some vegetables, give me a Greek salad, chicken breast, and eggs. And you may be like, but it's Sunset Grill. I'm supposed to have pancakes. No, you eat what you need to get your results. If you're on a win streak and you've dropped down weight, you've dropped down fat, yo, Derek, go hit your pancakes. But hit a pancake and an omelet. And if you're still hungry, go for half the pancake with your wife or someone else. Don't smash 3 pancakes with all the shit on it and no protein, right? Fruits before complex carbs. Now, why do I say fruits before complex carbs? Because a lot of time we are constantly brainwashed to think of where's my rice? Where's my bread? Where's my pasta? Where's my potato? Complex starchy carbs are great and they have a great place for everybody. But if you've been struggling with fat loss and you want to change shit up, you can buy a bag of apples for like $5, $6. Justin's laughing at me because he knows I'm right and they're cheap. You can buy apples and pears. There's your carbs for a week. And guess what? An apple is going to be like 21 grams of carb, zero fat, maybe 1 gram of protein. Have 2 apples. There's 45 grams of carb if you want, versus having 1 cup of starch. So get into the habit of going fruit before your fruit first, before complex carbs, and then you'll understand, wow, I'm getting into pineapple and grapes and plums and strawberries. That doesn't mean you can't have a nice dinner with a cup of watermelon on the side, or 2 cups of watermelon and a steak dinner. And it's like almost God's fruit for us. It's always sweet, it's always healthy, it's full of fiber, and it's not going to be as glycemic as the white carbs. Whereas if you go brown bread, it's just got all 3 parts of the whole grain, or brown rice, or yams. They're not going to be as high glycemic. Everything has to do with spiking blood sugar. That's it. If you spike blood sugar, like we told you before, if you spike blood sugar, all you're doing is putting your body into an insulin response rate where your body takes insulin and it goes, okay, what are we gonna do with this excess sugar? Well, let's get rid of it. If you're an ectomorph, great. Keep pumping in food all the time. Spike your blood sugar. Your body's gonna be like, who wants it? Muscle, take it. But if you're trying to burn off body fat, you don't want those big spikes because you're gonna crash. Meal prepping for busy schedules. So 3 to 4 days in advance to reduce decision fatigue. I love that word, decision fatigue. I was trying to come up with a way to make this make sense. It's decision fatigue. How many times have you woken up and be like, oh, what am I going to have for lunch today? Oh my God, I'm stressing out. I'll just buy it. And then you have breakfast and then you don't eat lunch because you're busy at work and you never had time to order Uber Eats because you didn't know what to do. And now you're at 2:30. You're like, shit, I didn't have breakfast. Well, now you're screwing up your body because your blood sugar is low. And then your muscle can't really repair and grow, right? So buy in bulk. This is an image of, I go to doTERRA Meats and I like butchers because I love protein and I love guys that can give me meat, right? So when I'll go to doTERRA, and this is like 3 to 4 weeks of a protein source, but what's nice is it's packed up, ready to go. Now, you don't have to go to a butcher. You can go to Price Chopper, you can go to Costco, wherever you want, but mix and match your shit. So you got here 3 bags of 12 boneless chicken breast thighs. Okay, it doesn't got to be boring food. I got ground beef in here. Each one of these packages, once I've cooked it, and I tell them to mix, like give me beef, big chunks of beef, and give me veal, boom, mix it. Or beef and a small bit of pork, mix it. Each one of those makes dinner for the family because you can't see them, but they're stretched out wide. Plus, I have 4 additional meals of 60 grams of protein in each. So my kids can hop on and split one, right? Veal chops, 3/4 inch. I don't go for big steaks. Like if I'm going to have family over and they're going to have some ribeyes, whatever, fine. But when I'm buying for my family, 3/4 inch. Trim that fat. And this is 3 bags of 6 in each. So if I'm feeling very vealish, then I'll go with give me 8 bags. So now when I come home, my wife can on a Wednesday morning pull out 2 veal chops and 1 chicken. Boom, and I barbecue everything. Or sausages and some steak. Or burgers, whatever you want. On top of this, you can also do the easy cold mixed salads. Tuna, mayonnaise, dill, salt and pepper, lemon, boom. But don't do 1. Do 5, 6 cans in one shot. So it's done for the day. So you go Wednesday, Sunday, right? Eggs in bulk, boil 12 eggs. If the kids are around, get their asses to get involved. Yo, let me show you how to boil an egg and let me show you how to peel it. If they don't want to do it, then don't give them food. Say it's a non-negotiable. You got to work to get the food, right? But then they get involved. Vegetables, simple. I'll buy a vegetable tray because I'm lazy sometimes. I'll buy rapini, big bundles of it. I'll just get peppers and I'll wash them, cut them in half, put them in the oven, olive oil, salt, done. Simple, in bulk. Or my daughter will pre-wash the whole romaine lettuce. We chop it off. She pre-rinses them, puts them in a container, puts like a paper towel, a wet one on it, and they stay for like 6 days ready to go. So now if Derek's hungry and it's 9:30, 10, and he's like, I've already eaten 4 times this today, he doesn't got to be worried. Go to the fridge, grab that lettuce already chopped up, ready to go, handful of that, some tomatoes, feta cheese, olive oil, give me a piece of chicken breast. Boom. You're having a 10 o'clock snack like a boss and not being afraid like most men are to eat. And they feel that fasting is the only way. Fasting is great, but it's got to have a purpose. And if you're just sitting at home and you're hungry because your metabolism is jumping up and you're training and you want to eat, then go ahead and have a meal. Just don't put the carb. You don't need it, right? So that resource is in there. Simply macro counting. So the easiest way to set up your day is just to look at this as a math equation and say, okay, you know what? My goal is, I think I cut my goal down to like 225 grams of protein because I was noticing 248 was stressing me. 248 divided by 6 meals was 41 times 6. And I'm noticing the older I get now, I don't have to have as many meals because I'm owning this weight. I just know that if my carbs go below 200, I lose weight fast. So I'll go 225 divided by 5. So I need 45 grams of protein per meal. Now, you guys have to understand that you're either going to weigh it for the first 2 or 3 days and look at what the hell is when you make chicken. Babe, throw it on the ounce. Let me see what it is. So 5 ounces of chicken gives you this. Okay, so I need 45. So add a little bit more. Okay, now I know what an eye looks like. So if you go to a restaurant, you're going to a hot buffet, and you need to order something, you'll know what to order, right? But you want to space that over the meals. And then plan your meals around protein first, fats, protein first. I'm going to do this different. I'm going to go fat second, carbs last. Demetrius, come close my door. Carbs last. Reason why I say this, the only person that will be going carbs last is probably me and David, because we're in the same position. We're trying to really put on the size. And if we can gain a little bit of fat, it's not going to be a big problem. But if every meal you have, you're like, you know what? What am I going to eat? Start with, okay, where's my protein? Oh, I got tuna left over in the fridge. Okay, so I'm going to just go a scoop and a half of tuna. Boom. What else? My wife's not here yet. Okay, I need fat. So tuna, I got my mayonnaise in there. I like cheese, so I'll get some feta cheese. Okay, and then I need my carb. Now, based on the carb, you can balance and juggle. If I need a carb and I'm already at my number, vegetable all the way. It's a no-brainer. And if you're trying to kill yourself thinking, fuck, I'm at 100 carbs for the day and my goal is 109 and I don't know what to do. Make it easy, bro. Romaine lettuce. Shut up, eat it, done. When you do that 4, 5, 6 weeks, your body goes, I get it, bro. Let me suck the fat. But when you trick the body and you give it some, you don't give it some, one night's a fucking cheesecake, the next night it's popcorn, the body doesn't get it. So it's got to be strict. Because then you can also, if you're in your zone, and if Mark's like, yo, I'm going to go to Texas, I'm going to meet some clients, I got to entertain and wine and dine, bro. If you want me to be part of your program, I got to be an entrepreneur. So go out and don't be afraid. If you want to have extra alcohol, log in. Pull out your phone while people are talking. Yeah, vodka soda, 2 vodka sodas, 3 vodka sodas. Because you'll learn what it looks like on a calorie scale. And then the next day, if you come back and you body comp yourself, or the next week, if you've lost muscle, or your percentage went up, or you've lost fat, you can say, holy shit, I lost fat and I got licked twice this week at 2 corporate events. And I felt really good. So now I know how to balance it. Because the whole point of doing this is making this be part of your lifestyle. There's no glory in training hard, grinding, smashing your face to the ground, and then not enjoying it. And like Scott said today, don't be hard on yourself. Go out, do what you got to do, enjoy it, and then wake up the next day and crush it. Simple as that, right? So I talk a lot. Question and answers. Give me some questions that you guys have, or if anybody's like, yo, I need you to show me how to break my plateau at. Let me know, especially for those who are a little bit more experienced. And if someone's got a brand new question, that's easy. We can do that as well. Forgiveness is a gift, especially to yourself. That's deep. Because forgiveness is important when you got to forgive people who've been assholes to you and also to yourself. So that's a really good one. I like that one. But who's got a question for me, or who's got maybe like a group scenario that they kind of want to say, okay, I got a scenario for you. I'm doing this. What do I do? So, boom. Who's got a question for me? You guys can, oh, it's not working here. You guys can unmute and let me know, or else I'm going to have to start asking you guys questions. Scott, give me some, who's going to start
I'll
off?
start. I'll ask you a question.
Let's do it, bro.
Plateaus. You just mentioned that. It just kind of sparked a thing because you and I actually touched on that last week.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Are you cool if I open you up?
Yeah, go for it. You guys will see my diets all over the place in the past little while.
Thank God somebody else is up first.
Just how to kind of break that, because I've been somewhat along the same weight over the past couple of weeks, and there hasn't been a huge change. And I know diet and everything aside, but if there is that plateau that's kind of come up, how do you start taking that to beat that and get it moving?
Wicked question. So I'm going to just put that here. How do you break? So the first thing is we need to identify, and we need to really do an IDS. We need to identify, we need to discuss, and we need to solve it internally. So if I look at you and you're like, hey, bro, hook me up. The first thing I do is I break the plateau into 3 different areas. And for Joe who's watching from overseas, this question is exactly for you. Thank God Chris brought it up. So you look at 3 different quadrants. It's going to be a training plateau. It's B, a nutrition plateau or problem, or C, it's a mindset. The fourth one is accountability. And when you're not asking for help and reaching out and being a great student, you're going to be stuck constantly. So then you break it down and say, okay, where am I stuck with? So if I want to go here and I want to look at nutrition only, and I go here, and this is the best way to learn by seeing people's stats. So bang, I'm going to look over here and say, okay, you know what? So we got let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 days of logging. Let's say, and this is Friday, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1 week, 2. This is a month. Okay, perfect. This is great. So the way I do it is I get hard on myself, but I do it as a teacher would do it to me. And that's okay. So far, it's the 20th of the month. Okay. And if you're going to log, you got to try to either log well or don't do it all. Don't half-ass shit. Because if you half-ass one day, you log, half-ass the next day, quarter-ass the next day, now your stats are off. So I would say, first of all, so 10 divided by 20 days, we're at 50% logging. So now you can't get mad because you're like, okay, well, I'm at 50% logging out of 20 days. I know one area I got to get better my logging. And if I'm going to set a goal this week, it's just to log and log every day and log well. So you don't get hard on yourself for not hitting the fucking goal on the scale. We need to stay back and say, okay, what is it? So from a nutritional side, I would say A, we make it easy, just logging. From a protein side, 130, 104, 138, 173, 132, 162. So it looks like your biggest max Here we got 173, which was great. 165. So now what I'm doing is, and if you go look at this day, you got better logging there. If I go back, I'm looking for when did I break a record? When did I break a record? 162. 163 was a previous one. Okay. So we know there. Ah, yes. 182. Now, again, notice how I'm starting with the protein first. Look at the carb. The carb goes up, 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 down, down, up, down, down. So if we're looking at getting mad, we can't get mad, because when you get mad at yourself, your brain's going to talk to you and put you down. Always going to win. So, okay, perfect. I know that I had 182 grams of protein on this day. So let me go back and look at June 11. And what happened June 11 to make this work out really well? And then what you look at is saying, okay, if I'm going to look at just nutrition, how do I mimic that same day? I know there's probably a fast way of doing this, but I'm stubborn and my fingers can go fast. We said June 11, was it? Okay. Yeah, you're 2 grams over. Bang. Okay. 26. So we got the kefir gave you some protein and the milk gave you some protein as well. So I would say we cut out the milk, which cuts down 13 grams of sugar and 12 grams of carb. And on that, we got to add protein, or you had protein powder. So protein powder, kefir. So to get the 26 higher, look at his fat. Julian, what should he have added? What kind of fat can he add to add more protein?
Hold on. Let me see screen. Oh, come on.
Got 9 grams of fat for breakfast and 54 grams of carb. So he can put something that's going to give him more fat and get more protein. And an easy answer for that is pumpkin seeds. So if pumpkin seeds came in and we went lower with the carb, we'd get higher for that first meal. Second meal, bang.
I was thinking on this as well.
What's that?
I was thinking like the kind of nuts that you eat or I eat, like you add for some fat almonds or I think you do cashews. I've seen that jar in your
Yes, 100%. Now look at a second meal. Bang. There's nothing wrong with hitting 60 grams of protein if we're training hardcore and we're training. Next one, 55. Chicken breast, egg. Listen to his day. Protein powder, kefir, and the milk, right? Even though it's got 9 grams of carb, I'd rather we go with a different kind. Milk in general, we just want to remove this because of the sugar. Next, 6 ounces of chicken and the turkey sausage. Next, chicken breast plus the egg, tortilla wrap. Then we had an apple, perfect, beautiful snack. Greek yogurt, a cup, boom. And then Greek yogurt again. So that day was steady, hitting. So if I were to say to him, where's one area I want to look at, I would just go down here and say, you know what? Right off the hop, we're just going to take and say, fuck it. 180 is your best. 185 is your best now, because you got to be better and you got to be hard on yourself. So 185 divided by how many meals you eat a day regularly, Chris?
Usually 4.
Done. 46.25. Okay, so I know 2 scoops of protein powder, check. I know a cup and a half of Greek yogurt or a cup of Greek yogurt with some pumpkin seeds, boom, check. Because you get like 20 plus another 35. I know 6 ounces of protein or 8 ounces of protein, check. I know a massive omelet. So that's going to take care of that. Then I would look at movements. We need 2 types of movement. We need movement, which is going to be basically your engine running. And this is, if I go last 3 months, or let's say last month. So we know your engine starts revving at, this is good, between 8 and 12. You're pop, 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 pop. So if we got 7, 7, 7, so your goal would be, instead of getting days that are 12, 13, 7, 9, 12, I would rather we just say, let's make it a clean number. So now the habit of getting that goal is instilled. So now you've got 10,000 steps per day even versus some days super high, some days low. If it's going to be super high, bravo, do it. Like that's crazy. 21,000 steps. What'd you do that day?
It's funny. I'm trying to remember what I did. It wasn't that long ago. What did I do?
You were chasing the dog in the
Travel?
backyard.
Yeah, no, you know what? It was stuff all around the house. It was out and around cleaning up, just being outside, just moving.
The secret is we have to become housewives. Is that better? Become a housewife and we'll take care of everything, right? But if not, I would rather see him shoot the dart and just get in the third circle. Who cares about the bullseye? Get in the third circle. Don't worry about what we're getting. Because when you get to that 10K step now, I can easily tell Justin, do me a favor. Now, when you get your 10K steps, let's add 3 or 4 max out planks throughout the day. So now he could be like, okay, I'll just do it in the morning when I wake up and I'll hit my stopwatch. How much is he going to do? 2 minutes? 3? What's the maximum? 4? Great job. It's 4 minutes of your life. So a 4-minute plank in the morning, 4-minute plank in the afternoon, because he's watching, he's at the desk. He gets up midday. He hits his A's, his T's, his W's, and his Y's. He does a 4-minute plank again or 2-minute plank, and then one at nighttime. So now we have 10K steps plus that additional expenditure, which gives you different results. And then from a training compliance, you've been pretty good. If I go to the calendar, so this is the movement pattern now. So we say, okay, this human, this Spartan, this Terminator that we just pulled out of Spynet or Skynet, we want to get patterns going. So if I look at this week, we're not done. If I go last week, that's why I tell people, even if you're not going to train and do a full workout, click on the day and hit what you did, cardio, whatever it is, basketball, because I need to be able to say, okay, we did 1, 2 days here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we had 1 to 3 days off here, and then we had 1, 2, 3. So what I've told him was instead of going go, 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 and then take 2 full days off, I'd rather sometimes you go, 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 take 1 day off, go, 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 take 1 day off. So now you get that little bit of a break in the middle, and you have to look at dividing by 7. So if I said from the beginning of October, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm sure you could have missed a day or something. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 days. So you just go 16 divided by 31. Okay, 52%. And even though the guy did 16 days of workouts compared to the schleps out there that do nothing, his mark is only 52%. So now there's no need to get mad because all you got to do is say, I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to get my stats better. This is a numbers game. Just like sales, just like relationships, dealing with your wife. It's a numbers game. Are you going to do the same thing over and over again wrong and then expect the same result? So all he has to say now is for November, okay, the month's not done. We're going to go from November. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's already at 10 days left. He did 16 last month. He's at 10 now. He can easily hit. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got 10 more days left. This is where you got to pull a Justin on yourself now and be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm training like 3 days, 4 days straight, and I'm going to pull a Scott, and I'm going to do it in the morning, and I don't give a shit if it's 10 minutes, and I'm going to do it at lunchtime. I'm going to go for a walk, and then at nighttime, I'm going to go for more of a workout or a walk. And when you begin throwing in the numbers, now you can sit back and say, okay, perfect. If he finishes 6 more workouts, that's 10 plus 6. No, that's 20. That's 26. 26 divided by 30. Yo, that's 87%. Now you can sit back and say, I'm doing well. If the scale didn't move and the percentage didn't move, you know you're doing well based on the habits. And if you want to make this be a 30-year long story like mine has been, in the industry training, even before that, 46. So yeah, I started training at 11 when I started competing in swimming. It's never going to stop. And the way I see my life is this week, I trained twice. Today's Wednesday. I should have trained 3 times already. So I'm going to take today, I train in the morning. I'm going to go Thursday, Friday, take Saturday off, and go Sunday and get back into my track again. So you want to look for, in summary, is it a mindset goal, which we never talked about? Mindset would be like, in being honest, have I asked my coach for help? No. Have I sent them a picture of an exercise that I think I'm doing wrong? No. Have I asked the group for any help? No. Okay, so I got a mindset problem. I have an ego problem because I have a hard time asking for help. And one of the guys on the call tonight that I spoke to, and I said, I'm going to meet you Friday morning. This is for you. We need to make sure that when you need the help, you ask for it. Because how hard is it to be like, guys, I feel like shit. I didn't work out for 3 days. I had the wrong foods last night. I feel like shit. What do? You're going to have 4 or 5 guys chiming in, be like, don't worry about it. Move on. Tomorrow's the next day. So you have to be asking for help more frequently because then the questions get less and less. But it's got to be mindset plateau. Are you motivated? Some people are like, I feel great. I'm going to crush this, but I'm stuck. Okay, your mindset's good. Check, right? Then is it a training problem? If you look at you have to look at the numbers and say, how many times did I train in the month, in the week? How many of my steps? And if you've gotten all those down packed, then we ingrain it and we do this on our call. And we say, okay, let's talk about where you're at with the workout. Day 1 strength. Okay, tell me about this workout. And Chris will be like, well, I don't like the dumbbell swings, so I can't do them properly. And when I do the hang power clean, I don't think I'm doing it right. Okay, easy to fix that. Record yourself, send it to me. Boom. And then I'll fix it. Okay. Nick Galley is going to be watching this call afterwards, who is from New York. Every day, him and Manny. Manny sent me this morning, 7:30. I look at my phone. There's a picture of Manny putting down the weights. He's doing his movement, and he's doing a front squat with a dumbbell. And he didn't even have to speak. He just did the movement. I watched his form. I responded back, hey, put a small bench or a box underneath you so you can drop down lower, the weights on your shoulders, go feet wider, heels dropped. Right away, the guy can fix it. So is it a training problem? If it's a nutrition problem, you should know right off the hop, am I eating stupid shit? Straight out. If I am, I'm the onus of that. Stupid shit meaning you're still ordering fast food, you're pulling into drive-thrus. Like if I had to go to a drive-thru tonight and you put me to go to Wendy's, I'll order 2 chicken sandwiches, spicy, no pop, sparkling water, no fries, salad on the side. I'd rather have 2 sandwiches versus the fries, and I'd be good. If someone else here had to go to a pita pit or a Sunset Grill or whatever it is, just order smart, order clean, right? And then you got mindset accountability, you got training, you got nutrition. Then you can look at things such as, am I logging properly? When it comes to nutrition, you can look at timing. Watch this. So we're going to analyze, and I like doing 4 or 5 days. Bang, love this. Okay, so watch this. So the Special K cereal, all I would change with this, because did you have a workout before this? Okay, so
No.
one, and thanks for being honest, because I like that. You have balls. Some guys don't have balls, and that's why they don't get results, because they can't own up to the shit they do. So here, what I would have did is, if you wanted to have it, I would have had a protein shake mixed up with water and protein powder and pour that on top of my cereal. Now I got, instead of 17 grams of protein, I got 4650. And if I really want to have a Special K, fine. If it's a whole grain and that's going to be my carb, fine. Then I just go somewhere else. Lunch is 20. So we had 27 grams of protein. So we have scrambled egg. I would have thrown, this was nice, 1 slice of bread. What I would have did on the side is I would have added more. So you have 24 grams of fat from the egg. I would have drank a shake on the side with this. And if you don't want to go shake for breakfast, shake here, then put a piece of turkey slices on it or get a can of tuna. Because you got to remember one thing. When we're building muscle and we want to look jacked and we want to look like we're men that are tight in shirts and we built, you got to eat protein for that. You got to be having a lot of it. So the 40, 50 grams that you're having, always remember it's going to sit in your lats, your chest, and your forearms, and your back, right? Go down to here, 27. So nuggets, cauliflower rice, broccoli. So we went 45 grams there. We probably went a little higher, probably from the nuggets gave you a bit of carb and then the creamy dill. So with the nuggets, I just would have said I would have made my own nuggets. I would just get chicken breast and I would get some eggs and I would take the chicken, dump it in the egg mix, put it in some, instead of getting breadcrumbs, you can take almonds and shred them up, cashews, shred them up in the shredder, use that as your bread mix. So now if you want to fry shit, take whatever it is, put it in the egg mix, put in the nuts, and then fry that, right? Which will give you much, much lower carbs. Then your snack, 42. So I'm happier if you have 2 of these a day because 42 times 2 is 84. Your goal is only 180. There's fucking boom, one chunk off of it, right? And then we went with the apple. I love apples, and I think they're one of the best carbs in the world. Because again, look at the apple, 15. He could have had 3 apples for lunch if he wanted to, and it would be less detrimental than a cup of rice, right? Or pasta. So on this day, the carb was slightly over, the protein was minimal. If I go to the next day, 19, 27, 24. So we want to say, okay, if 1 scoop gives me 27, I'm going to go 2. But I want to make sure does my protein powder have carb in it? Some protein powders have carb. So then I'm not going to need to have the oat milk. I'm going to have cream because half cream, it's got less sugar, less carb. And then if the protein powder didn't have carbs, you're fine to add. But if he never worked out in the morning, I would slice up that carb in general because now he's forcing his body to live off protein, vegetables, and fat. Now his body goes, what the hell, man? You got to give me food. I don't have energy. Let me suck off your belly, right? Lunchtime. We never want to go low for lunch. See here the dinner, because he had, and if this was timed, great, but 12:30, 7:26 is a long gap. So what I would have did, and this is where he got hungry, he had a cup of pasta. So I would have said, where else can we play around with these numbers? So remove breakfast, there's your 23 over. If you remove the breakfast one, you'd be zoop, and you'd go protein shake, remove the blueberries, because if you're not working out in the morning, you're trying to burn fat, and you give yourself 5 blueberries or 50, you're giving yourself energy. Whereas if I'm trying to gain weight, I need blueberries and oatmeal, or else I'm going to shrink by 11 o'clock, right? So if every day, watch this, if I remove 24 here, I'm good. Here, if I remove 38, I'm pretty much there, right? Because I'm 44 over here. If I go back, we go here, we go here. Bang, there's your breakfast. Look, the 13 carb, remove them. You're at your mark every day at 90. So now, if I'm looking at this, I'm like, bro, you're marching orders for the next 2 weeks, no carb for breakfast. If you work out empty stomach in the morning, then you have the carbs afterwards. But if you're not, we don't need them. We're giving the body glucose and it don't need it. So here, scramble this. Remember, 3 eggs, never eat eggs alone. In my family, eggs come with egg whites on the side. If my kid's going to have 2 eggs, I'll put 2 whole eggs. Then when they're not looking, I squeeze egg whites when they're not looking. So the omelet's got like 25, 30 grams of protein. My son's only 11. I don't care. You can't get sick from eating too much protein, right? So we want to look at, and especially Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, who talks about muscle-centric medicine, who's very profound when it comes to coming with the latest research. She says women should have 30 grams every morning, 30 to 35. Their first meal should be the biggest protein. So if we're men, we got to be stallions and we got to go right off the hop, 40, 45, So all we got to do is add a little bit more. So for here, look at his fat. It's at 19 carbs remaining. If he would have added a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds to his first meal, his fat would have went right to max. His breakfast would have been at 35 plus 14, 49. See? And his carb would have only been, if he removed the rye bread, his carb would have been 12 grams, but it's fat carb. It's not bread carb. It's not fruit. If you eat almonds and you eat an apple, you'll know the difference between the energy from the apple versus the almonds. That's why almonds and nuts are dense food. When you want to lose fat, you got to eat a lot of fat. Okay. Then we go through here. Lunch at 37. I like that. Because if you go lunch higher, you can scale off in the evening. Protein 30. So you went 2 3/4 cup. Is 2 3/4 tablespoons? You know what? Is that more than a cup and a half? Okay, so then you're good on there. I usually just, when I'm making Greek yogurt, I make it a meal. I make it a cup and a half. I put quarter cup or third cup of nuts. I'll put protein powder in there. I put a little bit of honey, and then depending on where I am in my day, the fruit. But you can jack that up to get 40. The carb is fine. And again, look at his carbs. They're blueberries and banana. They're fruit carbs. They're not complex pastas and shit, right? Then you go to here, 43. Perfect. Quarter cup of brown rice. Because that's all you needed. And somewhere here, I think if when we were logging, either the Demetrius, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna Google. This guy takes my phone, man. So how
Yeah,
carb? You like my screensaver, Julian?
absolutely.
Carb is in quarter cup brown rice. Because I have a feeling it's around 11. See? So
Oh, hey, Fat Seeker. Yeah, I use that website once.
one of the other things you had gave you a little bit more, but a quarter cup of rice is wicked because a quarter cup of rice is going to give you a little bit of a boost you need. And then these vegetables, vegetable carbs, I don't even care about how many you have because they're vegetables. But that was a smart lunch, a smart dinner. And then for the cottage, there you go, cottage cheese. Good. You got your 11 grams of carb there. And we were 14 over. So how can we clean it? We go here, bang, remove the breakfast. You would probably be at 90 every day if you remove the breakfast carb. And then if you remove the breakfast carb because you're not training in the morning, you just go 90 divided by 3. That's 30 grams a meal. So 30 for meal 2, 30 for meal 3, 30 for meal 4. Bob's your uncle. Or go 30-30 and then give yourself a drumstick at nighttime. Enjoy a little bit of an ice cream. That's a treat, right? That's how that goes. I got room for one more question. Who's got a question for me? And I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Dimitri, I have 2 questions.
Let's go.
Okay, so what happens if you meet your macros but you're still hungry, right? What do you do in that case?
So one, to answer that question, look at one of the guys put as his name is a picture of a female. It's classic. Are you okay if I jump in here? You're okay?
Yeah, sure.
So with you now, 3,000 calories. So you're getting more carbs than me, bro. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Wow, 300 grams of carb. So we do this. We analyze. Boom. So your step count is fine for your goal. If I had to look at all the numbers here, there's more dots above the 7,000 than below it. So I'm not worried about your step count. Then I go into your calendar and we're looking at, are you missing days of logging in here or no?
Yeah. Like there's some days like I worked out, but I didn't. It was like I did like an extra workout on my own. Like let's say I do legs,
And
but I
if you do
didn't.
that, just do this. Click the workout or click general workout because then I know where you're at. So now if we go back to here and we look at where your weight is, we say, okay, 157, bro. I can't remember you 157. Nice. It's a big jump. Okay. So what we say is, are you okay? Your percentage is fine. 17, you've gone down to here, 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 here. So since you started, you actually lost fucking percent of body fat from day one and you gained that kind of weight. Now you say to yourself, what do you want to do? Do you want to get bigger? Yes, right? Or
Mhm.
no? Okay, perfect. So then we go back to your calorie goal. I'm impressed. You're eating like I was before. See, I'm at a point now where I like where I'm at, so I don't want to keep going over. So what I would say we do here is we do 2 experiments. Now we can bump up your calories and we can change the calories, and we'll do it right now. But the only thing you got to promise me is you got to keep logging now. Because if you don't keep logging, then we're going to be stuck. So if I go here and I want to edit this, where is it here? I'm going to change this profile, remove the meal plan program. So I'm going to remove this. This is an option also, guys, if you want me to add into you where you want me to give you like a calorie goal. And then there's different, like if I don't want to have this, I can swap the swatch to something else. And I can pick whatever I want. Just message me and I can set that up for you if you want something that's different. So for now, I'm going to delete him from this. And I'm going to go here, here, here. Okay, now we know that he's done 3,000 calories. We're going to go 3,200. But in order to not make him get too heavy, we're going to pump this now and we're going to go bang. So I've given you more calories, but I've given you a little bit more fat calories and I've pulled the carb down. Now at 280. So if I save this now and you keep tracking and logging, and over the next 14 days, you can meet the 240 protein because you've been crushing it all kinds. Like, look at this, 310, right? So you can get that in there. Justin, pay attention because if he can do it, you can do it. Then I go carb. Now we've lowered your carb a little bit, so your waistline should be even able to get a little bit smaller based on the program. But your fat, now you got to meet the fat goal. So now your goal every day is, can I meet my fat goal? Make love to feta cheese, to almonds, avocado, olives, fish, seeds, nuts, right? Make love to more fat food. And then we go on here and we look at the biometrics. In 14 days from now, is the percentage of body fat dropping down? If this drops down, but your weight, you lost weight, I don't like that. We got to revert back to what happened before. Because in order for you to go, you're almost at a 20-pound, 15-pound goal. In order for you to go from 167 to 175, realistically speaking, this may pop up to 17 again. It may pop up to 18, but you can't be worried because all we have to do 6 months from now, when you're at that high number, is say, hey, you know what? We're going to take your carbs since you've been crushing 280 a day. Let's go to 225 and watch how fast you get shredded. Boom, just like that, right? So that's what we set for that goal there. And realistically speaking, that's all you have to do is just make that small change.
Okay.
Boom.
Got it.
So I'm going to save this whole talk. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I know that some of the guys have to go. Do you guys feel a weekday lunch would work for this call versus a weeknight? Do you think evening works better? What do you think? What do you guys think? You're muted.
I gotta stick to evenings because when I'm at work, I get my lunch at a set time, and I have to take it at that time.
Okay, so we'll keep it to evenings, and you know what? I'll try to make my lesson not be as long, or we'll just do quick wins, then boom, get right into topics. What I gave you guys tonight was wicked because from both sides you've learned, from the weight loss and the weight gain side, and anybody watching replay will understand this. But the key to making sure that you're able to get results, especially Julian, for you now, because I want to make you crush and drop below where you're at. I can have a separate meeting with you in person. Data
Sounds good.
Data drives results. Data drives
Yeah.
decisions. So we got to make sure that we have that DDD, data drives decisions. If there's no data, we're just guessing, right? And that's going to keep
Yeah.
you guys posted. All right,
Uh,
homies.
Dimitri,
Yeah.
another question. Is it okay for you to eat breakfast right after you wake up, or do you wait a certain time?
Depending on the goal, if you're trying to put on size, I would smash it. Like when you wake up, if you feel you've been having a tough time getting the meals in, wait a little bit. Let your body get hungry. Wait 45 minutes, then you're like, oh, I'm starving. Boom. Then you can have those big meals. Because for me, like I have a cup and a half of rice for breakfast with ground beef sauce. If I eat it right away, it's enough. But if I wait 25 minutes, I'm really, really hungry, boom, then I kick it in.
Okay.
That first meal will catalyst for the whole day.
Okay. And then how about before you go to bed, do you restrict yourself from eating a certain
No, no,
time, or
no. Before I go to bed, if I'm going to eat something, if I'm going to cheat, it's always going to be protein, salad, and fat. Or I'll even move the fat. It'll be like a piece of chicken and some tomatoes. It'll be a cucumber and a leftover chicken souvlaki. It'll be Greek yogurt with some nuts. If I'm going to eat, I'm going to go protein first. At that time, I eat like the weight loss guys. Protein, no carb. Because at 11 o'clock at night, like what are you eating for? You don't even bother putting the carb there. That way you'll be fine.
okay. And in regards to doing your workout, right? Let's say the program says to do a superset, but the machines are occupied and everything.
Yep.
What do you do in that case? Like you
You do
focus
a
on one.
movement, you do a
Mhm.
movement, then you plank and you wait 60 seconds till that guy's done, then boom, you jump in with him. Then you do the other movement. The next time you're doing it, two people are on. Who cares? I'll do the first movement, I'll do a plank, rest 6 seconds, bang the next movement, and just let them
Oh,
know.
David, I can also add in a hint too. And I had this once at work where I was at a very busy time and I couldn't do the some of the exercises that was in my app program. So
Mhm.
because I've done enough like different types of a similar group, for example, chess. So chess, the chess specialty was taken. So what did I do? I switched it up. Instead, I used pulleys with like a handlebar to be able to do like a chest press on that.
You
And
change the
actually,
movement.
yeah, it's a bit of a change in movement. And then the pulley is more freestyle, right? You're not in a set position. So
Yeah, you can
you
always
can do
substitute
different
if you
things.
need to. That's no problem.
Yeah.
All right, homies. It was a pleasure meeting with you guys. For those of you guys watching the replay, hats off to you. We'll see you on the next call. And guys, if you have any other questions, just message me in the app and keep kicking ass.
Yeah.
Everybody's locked in like Justin. All right. Have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Good
Take
night.
care.
Take care.
Bye
all.
for now.
Cheers.
You got it.